Holy Christ, has it ever been a minute? What is up, guys? It is your boy Rico here, back at it again with yet another video. And on today's video, I want to talk about one of my homies. He's been having a situation, kinda, sorta, with a rapper. And if you guys haven't noticed, I like to give rappers shit when they deserve it. So, Danny Towers is quite a popular underground rapper. He makes, you could call it music. You'd have to call it music if you were deaf. But my homie Twisted World, he made a video about Lil Drop Top, and I made a whole video about that situation not too long ago. He made a video about Danny Towers all the way back in 2019. He scammed a guy for $200. I'm talking about Danny Towers, not Twisted World. If Twisted scammed somebody, I wouldn't be making this video. And that was like right before Danny Towers blew up. Then the next 5 years, the guy that wanted that feature with Danny Towers ended up trying to get a hold of him and all that stuff. Danny barely ever responded, and then finally Twisted made his video. A similar situation to what happened with me. Danny then reached out to homie, saying he wasn't a scammer, all this stuff. Twisted didn't see it until 3 days later because he's got a busy schedule. You know how it is, right? Then all of a sudden, Twisted's videos get copyright strucken down. He gets a whole bunch of copyright strikes, right? And Empire Records ended up, getting his video taken down, the thumbnail, everything like that. They got it removed for copyright infringement. It was ridiculous. He reached out to Danny. Danny basically said, it's out of my control, and he never copyrighted nothing, which I call hot dog water, right? So, Twisted re-uploads the video, re-edits it, does all that bullshit, and it got hit again, and again, and again. So basically, it's a simple case of, the record label is falsely copyright striking somebody. He never used any music. He never used, he used some of the music videos, like just the clips from the music video, but it was there was nothing having to do with the original content in those videos, right? It is complete and utter bullshit. It's a complete and utter, Empire Records used the YouTube copyright system like a goddamn fleshlight. There's no way in hell. What are you supposed to do in that situation when there's a multi-million-dollar record company on your ass about that shit, right? What do you do? Oh, sweet Jesus, but don't take my word for it. Take it from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Twisted World.
Basically what happened is I made a video on Danny Towers talking about how back in the day before he really popped off, he ended up scamming a bunch of his fans. It was mostly only one fan at the time, but since the video's come out, there's been many people who have said that he's been scamming over the course of his entire career. And basically, I just kind of read the screenshots out, showed that in 2019, he ended up ripping off a fan, and over the course of 5 years, he would respond off and on, but never really ended up getting the guy his money back. And then after that video came out, Danny Towers ended up seeing it. He ended up hitting me up and being like, hey, bro, I'm not a scammer. I just needed the money back then. I was trying to get my career off the ground. It was all an honest mistake. I'll pay the guy back. But at the time, I wasn't on Instagram. I was doing other stuff, so I didn't see it right away. So he went to his label, which is Empire. I'm not even sure if it's a full-on label or if it's more of just a distribution company. But either way, they've helped him make multiple music videos. And I ended up using clips of those music videos in my video as background footage, as well as one clip of his song, How You Feel, about 2 seconds of that. I actually get a fucking strike. To be honest with you, that happens sometimes if you use audio. Usually you're allowed to get away with 5 seconds, but I'm like, all right, I cut it out. Put it back up. I'm like, everything's fine. I post on my story, Danny, why are you doing this? A couple hours later, I'm at work. Video goes down again for the same clip, even though I cut it out. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I didn't cut it correctly. Maybe so I go in there very specifically, make sure it's all cut out. And it goes back up. Everything's all good. 10 minutes later, 3 fucking copyright complaints on it. 2 different videos and that clip again. And I'm like, okay, this is malicious at this point. But at this point, I can't use YouTube's editing tool to basically take that shit out because it's going to destroy the whole video. It's not even going to make sense because they copyrighted like about 30 seconds of a couple different clips. So basically I'm like, well, fuck, nothing I can do. The video is going to stay down, only to find out a little bit later that Danny, because they did this copyright on my channel or on the video, I actually get a fucking strike. And I already had a copyright strike from something else. So at this point, I got 2 fucking copyright strikes, all because of Danny and his label. So of course I hit Danny up and I'm like, hey man, like, can you take this shit off of the video? And at this point, I'll just keep it down, like whatever. It already got its views. Like obviously you can't take criticism very well. It's a big deal to you, you know? And he's like, no, I'm not the one who took it down. It's like, dude, it's a manual thing that's happening because it went down 3 times in a row. This is not the system catching it. And he basically said, hey man, I support you, but don't try to come after what I built. And just proceeded to do nothing about it. You know, I find out a little bit later that these copyright strikes, one of them I got taken off, but Empire Records is huge, right? So I don't really want to fight back against them. I'm like, whatever, it's one video, I'll keep it down. Only to find out that this strike is basically ruining my channel and the algorithm. I look it up. If you get copyright strikes, like you're not in the fucking algorithm. Like they take you out of the algorithm. They look at your channel as like it's an issue, right? So eventually, like a month after this shit happens, I'm like, all right, you know what? I got to counter it, whatever. If they try to sue me, so be it. But, you know, I ended up doing that. But yeah, I basically lost a whole month of YouTube, a whole month of, you know, it's not my full-time job, but yeah, everything I've been putting out for the last month has just not been getting to an audience because of a copyright strike because of Danny Towers, because he's trying to cover up the fact that he's a scammer. So I reposted the video, second channel, if people want to check it out, and hopefully by the time that this video comes out, that video will be back up. Hopefully we're going to win that counterclaim, and if we do, well, fuck you, Danny Towers. Thanks for fucking up my whole system, and I fuck with your movement, bro, but just don't try to tear down what I'm building. Yeah, fuck you fat bastard. Alright.
Anyways, that was Twisted World. Thank you so much for coming on the channel, and let's get back into the video. But basically, at the end of the day, we smoke on that Empire Records pack, and we praise Twisted World. Twisted goes and gets rid of people's bullshit. He goes and exposes underground rappers, some of them, for what they really are. Pieces of garbage. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you guys could help make that happen, very much appreciated. Anyways, I'm out, boys. Deuces.